All right, timpani 101. I wanted to discuss a couple of things about timpani before we even get to what we're trying to prepare. Okay, so as far as setup goes, as you can notice, all the pedals are facing towards the stool, or that's where the person or player would be. Notice that the stand is right in the middle of the middle drums. Now, even if you're not using a 32 or you're not using a 23, I always want your stand to be in the middle of the 29 and 26. Oftentimes in concert band, when students have a 32 and a 29 only when they're playing, they move the stand over here. I still want your stand facing the conductor. Stool, body, middle of stand between the middle two drums should all point towards your conductor. That way you can always see them in your peripheral vision. Make sure your stand is high enough, so from the conductor's point of view, they should really only be able to see your eyes, not even really your nose. That way your eyes don't have to move back and forth very much, and you can see more in your peripheral vision. Also notice the drums are as close as possible to each other. And then I want you to notice that the drums are not a perfect circle. It's a little straighter than you would think. What you want to determine your best sound is what it sounds like. But generally, I found that this kind of works. So go from the center of the drum and point to the bearing edge, right here. Typically, the best hit spot's gonna be 1/3 of that space. So let's say we split this into thirds, 1/3, 2/3, 3/3. Almost like when you're holding a stick, you go up to the first third. That's typically gonna be your best playing spot. So if the drum is bigger, that third's gonna be a little bit deeper, and if your drum is smaller, that's gonna be a little bit smaller. And I think likewise, your margin for error, when you get to the 23-inch drum or 26-inch drum, you need to be closer and closer to that 1/3. As you can see, if I'm hitting center, it's a really bad sound, and if I hit near the bearing edge, it's a very nasally thin sound. And as I get towards that 1/3 area, I'm getting the most robust, biggest, fullest sound. That's the most resonant and fullest sound. Now here are the grips. You have German, which is completely flat, American, kind of in between German and French, and then French. Now notice on French, things get really kind of crazy here. Now I like to do a French grip. It lends itself to more upstroking, but as long as you lift up on the timpani and everything always comes back up, I think you're okay. Okay, so now that we've talked about some of those things, let's talk about how to set up on our instrument. Okay, so just like everything else we do in percussion, we want things to be natural. So I'm gonna go for my elbow here, and whether I'm doing American, German, or French grip, I'm going to lift my arms until they're in a relaxed position where my arm is completely aligned with my body. I don't want it behind me, I don't want it in front of me. I want it to be where I'm just relaxed and I bring up to the correct playing position. Make sure you set that up first, then you can walk up to your drums. Now I like to walk up to the 29 and 26, the middle drums first, usually. So I'll get my hands in a good setup, and then I'll walk slowly until I get to the good hit spots that we talked about. Okay, from here, to decide where to set up my outside drums, I like to rotate from my elbow in a natural position. Rotate here. I don't want to bring my elbow back to discomfort my arm so it doesn't become unnatural. So I'm going to go from here. I actually do this closing my eyes sometimes, and I just kind of just get a windshield wiper rotation. Then I look and see where my arm is naturally. You're a human being, so if you're looking, you might make an adjustment to get in a good hit spot and create some tension. So I like to not look. I like to make sure my eyes are closed and I feel my natural body's rotation from my elbow. Boom. Then I look. Okay, this drum is a little bit too close, so I'm going to take it away. I can do the same thing on the top drum. Rotate, don't even look, then look and assess. Okay, that's a good hit spot. Okay, or adjust the drum. So we want to adjust the instrument to you, not the other way around. Now, if I have to roll on the 32 or play notes on the 32 or roll or play notes on the 23, then I can naturally shift my weight over there, no problem. Remember, on timpani, we don't want to move our feet around. It's more about rotating at the trunk, which is kind of the opposite of marimba.